Now, after posting a net profit of 513 million shillings for the first time in over a decade, the national carrier Kenya Airways now says it'll be looking to increase its fleet by an additional 30 to 40% and grow its destinations from the current 48 to over 60 in the next 5 years. According to the airline CEO Alan Kilavuka, the airline is currently facing challenges with fleet acquisition owing to manufacturing delays due to backlogs from both Airbus and Boeing. Jimmy Mbogo sat down with the CEO a day after the airline registered their first positive earnings since 2013.
The positive earning for the first half of 2024 seems to have reaffirmed Kenya Airways' strategy to move the airline back to profitability despite the debt that the airline currently carries. According to the CEO Alan Kilavuka, for the airline to remain profitable, it will require a capital injection that will enable it to repay the 120 billion shillings it owes. He disputed claims of government bailout, noting that the funds extended to the Kenya Airways by the National Treasury are considered debt that the airline will repay.
A lot of the debt that we're talking about is debt shareholder loans. So these amounts that you keep hearing about that government is bailing out Kenya Airways is actually loans to Kenya Airways.
Yeah.
With the belief that Kenya Airways is going to pay it back.
It is this capital that the airline hopes a strategic investor will inject in return for a 49% stake after valuation, which is set to commence in the coming days. Kilavuka says that the capping of the equity at 49% is to ensure that the airline remains a Kenyan company. In the capital-raising drive, the airline hopes it will be able to expand its fleet by 40% and increase its destinations to 60 from the current 48 in the next 5 years.
The strategic investor should be able to add value to our business. So we found that there are some investors who, for example, if it's an airline, they can complement our network, for example. If it's not an airline, it's maybe an investment bank. They can help us restructure the way our balance sheet looks like.
Although Kenya Airways agrees on the need to modernize the airport, Kilavuka has expressed reservation on the hiking of fees as proposed, saying broader engagements is needed before the deal is implemented.
We control about 70% of that airport. So it is important that we have that discussion with the people who are intending to take over. And even discuss the issues around fees. Yeah. Because indeed you're right, we don't want a situation where we have an exponential case of increase in fees. But more importantly, even the design of the airport should be suitable to us.
As the airline savors the profitability milestone, Kilavuka has expressed concerns over the current macroeconomic environment in Kenya and globally, even as the mpox scare continues across the world. At the same time, taxes and costs across Africa continue to pose yet another set of headwinds for the airline. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.